God is warning you about a person whose name starts with the initial R. Listen this right now within 10 seconds. You won't believe this. The name is about to be revealed. I am telling you this now because something around you is shifting, and you cannot afford to ignore it, even for a moment. You are standing at a point where one choice can protect your peace or quietly open a door to pain, and I will not let you walk into that without warning. There is a person whose presence has already begun to touch your life in ways you have not fully noticed, and their name begins with R. This is not fear I am placing in your heart. It is clarity, and it is meant to guard you before anything breaks your spirit. Stay with me, because what you are about to understand will explain the uneasiness you have been feeling deep inside. Type Amen if you believe. You have felt it before, that small hesitation when you think about them, that slight discomfort that you tried to ignore because everything looked normal on the surface. I placed that feeling inside you as a signal, not as confusion, but as protection, because I see what you cannot see yet. This person is not entirely who they appear to be, and their intentions are not aligned with the peace I have been building in your life. I am not telling you to hate them or to fear them, but I am asking you to become aware and careful, because awareness is what will keep you safe. What you are about to realize will make sense of past moments that felt strange but were quickly dismissed. Do not scroll past this moment, because I am reaching out to you in a way that is meant to stop you from making a silent mistake. If this is touching your heart right now, take a second to like this video as a sign that you are listening and choosing to stay aligned with the protection I am giving you. I do not need your approval, but your action strengthens your focus and keeps your mind from drifting away from something important. You are not here by accident, and this warning is not random, it is precise and intentional. I am guiding you step by step so you do not walk into something that will take time to heal from. The person with the initial R carries an energy that feels familiar, almost comforting at times, but there is a hidden layer that creates imbalance. You have already seen small signs, moments where their words did not match their actions, or where something felt slightly off, but you chose to give the benefit of the doubt. I understand your heart, because you are kind and you want to believe the best in people. But kindness without discernment can lead you into places that drain you. I am asking you to open your eyes now, not later, because later may come with consequences that could have been avoided. Type 777 to receive blessings. This is not about creating distance from everyone around you. It is about recognizing one specific connection that needs careful handling. You are growing. You are stepping into a season where your peace and your focus matter more than ever before, and not everyone around you can walk with you in the same way. The person whose name begins with R may try to pull you back into old patterns, old doubts, or old habits that I have already been helping you leave behind. You might feel pressure, subtle or direct, to go against what you know is right, and that is where your strength must rise. I have been preparing you for this even before you realized it, by strengthening your intuition and teaching you to listen to your inner voice. That voice is not random. It is me guiding you gently so you do not feel lost. When you feel that quiet warning inside, do not silence it just to keep things comfortable, because comfort is not always safety. Sometimes, what feels easy is actually what leads you away from the path I designed for you. I want you to trust what you feel now, because it is connected to a truth that is unfolding. You are not weak for feeling confused about this situation, and you are not wrong for wanting clarity. I am giving you that clarity now so you can stand firm without guilt or hesitation. The person with the initial R may not understand your distance or your caution, and they may even question your change, but your responsibility is not to explain yourself endlessly. Your responsibility is to protect what I have placed inside you, your peace, your purpose, and your direction. This is a moment where you choose alignment over attachment, where you decide that your future matters more than temporary comfort. I am not removing people from your life to hurt you. I am doing it to preserve what is meant for you. Some connections are lessons, not destinations, and once the lesson is understood, holding on only creates pain. You are strong enough to let go of what does not serve you, even when it feels difficult at first. That willingness is what will protect you in moments like this, because not everyone chooses to listen when truth is uncomfortable. I am continuing to speak to you, because this situation is not finished, and there are deeper layers you must understand about the person whose name begins with R. What you do next will shape how much peace you carry in the days ahead. Type yes to affirm. There are patterns that you have already experienced with this person, and I want you to look at them honestly now. You may have noticed how they come close when they need something, and then grow distant when it is time to give back. You may have felt moments where their presence left you drained instead of uplifted, even when nothing obvious went wrong. These are not small things, and they are not your imagination. They are signs that your spirit is picking up on something your mind tried to overlook. I allowed you to notice these patterns so that when this moment came, you would recognize the truth without confusion. What if a quick 7-second brain ritual could truly wipe out your debt and fill your life with unstoppable abundance? A shocking CIA leak has just revealed a 7-second ritual now helping ordinary people clear debt and attract unlimited wealth. Verified by 4 top neuroscience labs, this easy at-home method is turning financial problems into dream lifestyles. New homes, cars, vacations, it's all happening for real people. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You have a heart that forgives quickly, and that is beautiful. But it also makes you vulnerable to people who take advantage of that softness. The person with the initial R has already benefited from your kindness more than they should have, and you may not have realized how one-sided things became. I am not telling you this to make you feel regret, but to give you awareness so you can correct what needs to be corrected. You are not here to be used or to carry emotional weight that was never yours to hold. You are here to grow, to move forward, and to step into the life that has been prepared for you. There will be a moment soon when this person tries to reconnect with you in a way that feels familiar, almost comforting, as if nothing ever went wrong. They may speak gently, they may say things that sound right, and they may even remind you of good memories you shared. This is where your discernment must stay awake, because not every warm word carries a pure intention. Sometimes, people return not because they have changed, but because they miss the access they once had to your energy. You must not allow nostalgia to become a door that leads you back into the same cycle. Take a breath and understand this clearly. You are not being asked to harden your heart. You are being asked to strengthen your boundaries. There is a difference, and that difference will protect your peace without taking away your kindness. You can still be respectful, you can still be calm, but you do not have to open yourself in the same way you did before. Growth often requires distance, and distance is not punishment, it is protection. I am guiding you to choose wisely so you do not repeat what you have already learned. Type 1212 if you trust in Jesus. In the quiet moments, when you are alone and thinking about everything, you may feel a pull to give this person another chance without fully addressing what went wrong. That pull comes from your compassionate nature, but it must be balanced with truth. You cannot build something healthy on top of unresolved patterns, and pretending that everything is fine will only delay the pain. I want you to be honest with yourself about what you felt when you were around them, because your feelings were telling you something real. Ignoring that truth will not make it disappear. It will only make it return in a stronger way. You are entering a season where your energy will attract new opportunities, new people, and new directions. This is why I am being so clear with you now, because carrying the wrong connection into a new season can slow down everything I am trying to bring into your life. The person with the initial R may not fit into where you are going, and holding on to them could create confusion in your path. I am removing what does not align so that what does belong can find you without resistance. Trust that when something leaves or becomes distant, it is not always a loss, it is often a clearing. There is strength inside you that you have not fully seen yet, and it is rising through moments like this. Every time you choose clarity over confusion, you grow stronger. Every time you listen to the quiet warning instead of ignoring it, you become more aligned with the life that is meant for you. You are not the same person you were before, and that is why certain connections no longer feel right. Growth changes your surroundings, and not everyone can grow with you at the same pace. You may wonder why this had to happen, why this person came into your life if they were not meant to stay. The answer is simple. They were part of your learning, part of your awakening, and part of your understanding of your own worth. Without this experience, you might not have recognized the importance of boundaries or the power of your intuition. Even situations that bring discomfort can carry purpose, and this one is shaping you into someone stronger and wiser. You are not being set back, you are being prepared. Stay steady in the coming moments, because clarity will continue to unfold in ways that confirm what you are feeling right now. You may notice small details that you did not pay attention to before, and those details will make everything clearer. Do not rush your response, and do not feel pressured to act immediately, because wisdom often requires patience. Give yourself the space to think, to feel, and to choose without outside influence. You are allowed to take your time when making decisions that affect your peace. I am reinforcing what you must not ignore. The person whose name begins with R is not just a small detail in your life, they are connected to a choice that will either protect your peace or quietly disturb it. I want you to stay alert, because what comes next requires your full awareness. Type 1111 if you walk by faith. There is something about the way this person communicates that has caused you to question yourself more than once. You may have noticed how conversations sometimes leave you feeling unsure, as if you said something wrong even when you did not. That is not clarity, and it is not healthy, because truth does not leave you confused about your own worth. I want you to understand that when someone consistently makes you doubt yourself, it is not a sign to try harder, it is a sign to step back. Your voice matters, and your thoughts deserve to be respected, not quietly dismissed or twisted. The person with the initial R carries a pattern of shifting behavior, and that inconsistency has already touched your emotions in ways you tried to ignore. One day they may seem present and kind, and another day they may become distant without explanation. This creates a cycle where you start adjusting yourself just to maintain balance, and that is not the life I want for you. You were not created to constantly adapt to someone else's instability. You were created to stand in peace, in truth, and in a sense of stability that does not depend on unpredictable actions. Could a CIA-leaked brainwave ritual be the fastest shortcut to a life of luxury? Newly released CIA research has just exposed a jaw-dropping brainwave technique that's letting everyday people attract massive wealth almost instantly. This 7-second home ritual, proven by 4 neuroscience labs, is transforming debt into dream houses, cars, and luxury getaways. If you're reading this, consider yourself lucky. The page could be taken down any time. Click the link in the description and comments to unlock the secret before it's gone forever. Take a moment to reflect on how you feel after interacting with them, not just during the good moments, but after everything settles. Do you feel calm, or do you feel drained? Do you feel secure, or do you feel uncertain about where you stand? These answers are important because your emotional state is revealing what your mind has been trying to process quietly. I speak to you through these feelings, not to overwhelm you, but to guide you gently toward what is right. Type 222 if you trust God. There may come a point very soon where this person tries to draw you into a deeper conversation, one that feels important or even urgent. They may bring up past situations, shared memories, or even emotions that feel unresolved. This is where your strength will be tested, because it will seem like an opportunity to fix everything at once. But not every conversation leads to healing, and not every opening should be accepted. You must recognize whether the intention behind their words is growth or control. You are learning now that not all connections are meant to continue in the same way forever. Some are meant to fade, some are meant to transform, and some are meant to end so that something better can begin. Holding on to what feels familiar can sometimes block what is truly meant for you. I want you to release the fear that letting go means losing something valuable. What is truly meant for you will never require you to lose your peace in order to keep it. There is also something you need to understand about timing. You are in a moment where your life is quietly preparing for change, even if you do not see it clearly yet. The decisions you make now will shape how smoothly you move into what is coming. If you allow the wrong influence to stay close, it can create delays, confusion, and emotional weight that slows you down. But if you choose wisely, if you listen carefully, you will move forward with clarity and strength. The person with the initial R may not even realize the effect they are having on you, and that is something you must accept. Not everyone is aware of their impact, and not everyone is willing to change even when they are told. Your role is not to fix them or to teach them how to treat you. Your role is to recognize what is not right and to respond in a way that protects your well-being. This is not selfish, it is necessary. You are being guided into a stronger version of yourself, one that does not ignore warning signs or silence inner truth. This version of you is more aware, more grounded, and more aligned with the path I have set before you. Every time you choose to listen instead of dismissing what you feel, you become more connected to that strength. You are not losing anything by stepping back from what feels wrong. You are gaining clarity and control over your own life. As you move forward, you will notice that your thoughts about this person begin to change. What once felt confusing will start to make sense, and what once felt uncertain will become clear. This is because you are allowing truth to settle in your heart instead of pushing it away. Give yourself the grace to process everything without rushing to a conclusion. Understanding takes time, but clarity always comes when you remain open to it. The person whose name begins with R is not being revealed to harm you, but to protect what is ahead of you. This is not about judgment, it is about alignment, and you are being gently guided back into what is right for you. Type 1010 to claim miracles. There are moments when you replay conversations in your mind, trying to make sense of what was said and what was left unsaid. You might notice how certain words carried a hidden tone, or how something felt incomplete even when everything seemed normal on the surface. These are not random thoughts, they are your awareness growing stronger. I have been allowing you to revisit these moments so you can finally understand them with clarity instead of confusion. When truth begins to settle, it does not rush. It unfolds quietly until you can no longer ignore it. The person with the initial R has a way of creating emotional waves where things feel calm one moment and unsettled the next. You may have tried to adapt to this without realizing how much energy it was taking from you. That constant adjustment slowly pulls you away from your natural sense of peace. I did not create you to live in emotional uncertainty or to constantly question where you stand with someone. Your life is meant to carry a steadiness that allows you to grow without fear of sudden shifts. There is something deeper that you must also recognize, and it is the way this connection has affected your confidence. Even if it was subtle, there were moments where you held back your true thoughts or feelings just to keep things from becoming tense. That is not balance, and it is not love. It is a quiet form of pressure that slowly changes how you express yourself. I want you to return to your full voice, the one that speaks without fear and without hesitation. You deserve to exist in spaces where you are not shrinking to keep peace. Type 222 if you trust God. In the coming days, you may feel a strong urge to reach out, to clear things, or to give this connection one more chance to feel right. This urge will feel genuine, and it may even feel like the right thing to do in that moment. But I want you to pause before you act, because not every urge is meant to be followed immediately. Sometimes, what feels like a need to fix something is actually a habit trying to repeat itself. Give yourself space to breathe, to observe, and to respond with awareness instead of emotion. Is it really possible for a 7-second ritual to turn financial struggle into overnight wealth? This leaked, CIA-backed study uncovers a 7-second money ritual that's changing lives right now. Endorsed by 4 neuroscience labs, it reprograms your brain to attract money like a magnet. People once broke are now living their dream lives, luxury homes, new vehicles, exotic travel. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. You are learning something powerful right now, something that will shape how you handle every connection in your life going forward. You are learning that peace is not something you beg for or adjust yourself to maintain. Peace is something that naturally exists when the right people are in your life and the wrong ones are kept at a distance. This lesson is not small, and it will protect you in ways you cannot yet see. Hold on to it, because it will guide you long after this moment has passed. The person with the initial R may not disappear completely, and that is something you must be prepared for. They may remain around you in some form through communication, shared spaces, or mutual connections. But your approach to them is what matters now, because that is where your control lies. You do not need to cut everything off harshly, but you must change how much access they have to your energy. Distance is not always physical. Sometimes it is emotional and mental, and that distance creates protection. You may also notice that as you step back, their behavior becomes more noticeable. Things that once seemed small will begin to stand out more clearly. This is not because they are changing suddenly, it is because your awareness is no longer clouded by attachment. You are seeing things as they are, not as you hoped they would be. That shift is important because it keeps you grounded in truth instead of illusion. There is no need for anger in this process, and there is no need for bitterness. What you are doing is not about rejecting someone out of hurt, it is about choosing yourself with understanding. When you make decisions from a place of clarity instead of pain, you carry peace with you even in difficult moments. You are not closing your heart, you are protecting it, so it can remain open for what is truly meant for you. That is strength, even if it does not feel like it at first. I am guiding you towards something that will feel lighter, more stable, and more aligned with who you are becoming. This situation is not the end of something meaningful, it is the beginning of something better. What leaves your life now creates space for what is waiting to enter. You may not see it yet, but I do, and I am leading you there step by step. Trust that every shift happening right now is part of a greater direction. The person whose name begins with R is part of this awakening, not because they are meant to stay, but because they are revealing something important inside you. You are being taught to choose truth, even when your heart wants comfort. Type 1111 to affirm. There is a quiet shift happening in how you think about this person now. Where you once felt drawn without question, you now feel a pause, a need to step back and observe instead of immediately engaging. That pause is not hesitation, it is wisdom beginning to take its place. You are no longer reacting the same way, and that is because you are no longer seeing them through the same lens. When your perspective changes, your choices begin to change as well, and that is exactly what is happening now. You may still remember the moments that felt genuine, the times when everything seemed right and easy. Those memories are real, and they are not meant to be erased, but they are also not meant to define the entire connection. A few good moments do not cancel out repeated patterns that brought you confusion or discomfort. I want you to hold both truths at once, the good that existed and the reality that followed. This balance will help you make a decision that is honest, not one that is based only on emotion. Type 1212 if you trust in Jesus. There is something else I want you to notice, and it is the way your energy feels when you are not thinking about this person. In those moments, you feel lighter, calmer, and more like yourself again. That is not a coincidence. That is your natural state returning when you are not influenced by something that disrupts it. Your peace is not something you have to search for. It is something that already exists within you when nothing is pulling you away from it. Pay attention to that feeling, because it is showing you what is right for you. The person with the initial R may sense this shift in you, even if you do not say anything directly. They may notice that you are less available, less reactive, and more centered. This can lead them to try different ways of reconnecting, sometimes through kindness, sometimes through urgency, and sometimes through subtle pressure. You must remain steady in your awareness, because not every attempt to reconnect is coming from a place of growth. Some are simply attempts to regain the same access they once had. You are not required to respond immediately to every message, every call, or every attempt to draw you back in. You are allowed to take your time, to think, and to choose your response carefully. This is not about ignoring someone out of spite. It is about respecting your own space and giving yourself the clarity you need. When you slow down your reactions, you create room for better decisions. That space is where your strength grows, and it is where your peace is protected. There may be a part of you that still hopes things could change, that this person could become different if given the right chance. Hope is not wrong, but it must be grounded in reality, not in what you wish things could be. Change does not come from repeated chances alone, it comes from genuine awareness and consistent effort. If you have not seen that clearly, then you must be honest with yourself about what is actually present. Your future cannot be built on potential that has not been proven. Have you heard about the top secret ritual the government wants to keep hidden? Imagine if a single 7-second ritual could clear your debts and draw wealth to you effortlessly. A leaked CIA report and 4 leading neuroscience labs confirm it's not a myth. Struggling families are moving into dream homes with total peace of mind, but the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. I want you to recognize how far you have come in understanding this situation. You are no longer in the same place of confusion you once were, even if some feelings are still settling. You are beginning to see patterns, to connect moments, and to understand what your experiences were trying to teach you. This awareness is a gift, and it will stay with you beyond this situation. It will guide you in every relationship, every decision, and every path you choose moving forward. The person with the initial R is not the center of your life, even if their presence has felt strong at times. You are the center of your life, and your peace is what matters most. When you place your focus back on yourself, everything begins to realign. You start to notice what you need, what you deserve, and what you are no longer willing to accept. That shift is powerful, because it changes the way you move through the world. There is no rush to finalize everything in this moment. You are allowed to let clarity settle fully before making any firm decisions. But do not ignore what you already know, and do not push aside what you have felt repeatedly. Your inner voice has been consistent, even when you tried to quiet it. Now is the time to listen without resistance, and to trust that what you are feeling is guiding you in the right direction. The person whose name begins with R is no longer just a question in your mind. They are becoming an answer you can no longer ignore. I want you to stay present in this awareness, because it is leading you somewhere important. Type Amen if you believe. There is a difference between missing someone and needing them, and that is something you are beginning to understand. You may still feel moments where you think about them, where memories return, or where a part of you wonders what could have been. Those feelings do not mean you are meant to go back. They simply mean you are human and capable of connection. But connection should not come at the cost of your peace, and that is where your clarity must remain strong. You can acknowledge what you felt without allowing it to guide your decisions again. The person with the initial R may have created a space in your life that once felt meaningful, but that space is now being reshaped. You are not the same person who first allowed them in, and your needs are no longer the same either. What once felt acceptable now feels heavy, and what once felt normal now feels uncertain. This is not confusion. It is growth showing you that you have outgrown something, and when you outgrow something, holding on to it only creates discomfort. Type 777 to receive blessings. You may begin to notice that your time and energy are being pulled in different directions now. New thoughts, new ideas, and even new opportunities are starting to appear, even if they are small at first. This is not random. It is a sign that your life is opening in a different direction. But for something new to fully enter, something old must loosen its hold. If you keep giving your energy to what no longer aligns, you limit what is trying to reach you. There is also something important happening within your sense of self. You are starting to recognize your own value more clearly, not through what others give you, but through what you feel within yourself. This kind of understanding is powerful, because it cannot be easily shaken by someone else's behavior. When you know your worth, you no longer wait for someone to treat you right in order to feel right. You begin to set the standard instead of adjusting to meet someone else's inconsistency. The person with the initial R may not understand this shift in you, and that is something you must accept without trying to explain everything. Not everyone is meant to understand your growth, especially if they were comfortable with the version of you that accepted less. As you change, your boundaries will feel unfamiliar to them, and they may question or challenge that change. But your responsibility is not to make them comfortable, it is to stay true to what you have learned. Growth often creates distance, and that distance is not a mistake. You are also learning to trust timing in a different way. In the past, you may have felt the need to resolve everything quickly, to bring clarity as soon as possible so you could feel settled again. But now you are understanding that clarity does not always come through quick action. Sometimes it comes through patience, observation, and allowing things to reveal themselves naturally. You do not have to force an ending or a resolution, you simply have to stay aware and let truth unfold. There may still be moments where doubt tries to return, where you question whether you are overthinking or being too cautious. That is normal when you are breaking away from old patterns. But I want you to remember that your awareness did not come from nowhere. It came from repeated experiences, repeated feelings, and repeated signs that something was not right. You are not creating this out of fear. You are responding to what you have already lived through. The person with the initial R is not your enemy, but they are also not aligned with the direction you are moving toward. That distinction matters because it allows you to step away without carrying anger or resentment. You are not walking away from them out of bitterness, you are walking forward into something that requires a different level of peace. That is not rejection, it is redirection, and it is happening for your benefit. Why is this 7-second CIA ritual spreading everywhere so fast? New CIA leaks have revealed a powerful brain ritual that triggers instant wealth flow. This 7-second technique, validated by 4 neuroscience labs, is rapidly changing lives. From crushing debt to dream vacations, this could be your shortcut to abundance. If you're seeing this, you're lucky the page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. As you continue to move forward, you will feel a stronger sense of control over your choices. You will notice that you are less reactive, less pulled by emotion, and more grounded in what you know is right. This is the result of listening instead of ignoring, of choosing awareness instead of comfort. You are becoming someone who does not need repeated lessons to understand what is meant for them and what is not. That strength will carry you far beyond this situation. At the beginning, there was confusion, hesitation, and a quiet resistance inside you. Now, there is a growing clarity, even if it still carries emotion, and that clarity is becoming your strength. The person whose name begins with R is no longer a mystery to your spirit, even if your mind is still catching up. You are starting to see the truth without needing constant reminders, and that is a powerful shift. Type yes to affirm. There is something important happening inside you right now, and it is the way you are learning to sit with your feelings instead of reacting immediately. In the past, you may have felt the need to respond quickly, to fix things, or to bring everything back to a place that felt comfortable. But now you are allowing space between what you feel and what you do, and that space is giving you control. When you do not rush your reactions, you begin to see things more clearly. That clarity protects you from repeating what you have already outgrown. The person with the initial R may still cross your thoughts, but notice how those thoughts are changing. They are no longer filled with the same pull or urgency, and they are no longer guiding your actions the way they once did. This is not because your feelings were false, but because your awareness is now stronger than your attachment. You are not being controlled by what you once felt, and that is a sign of growth. You are learning that feelings can exist without deciding your future. Type 1010 to claim miracles. There will be moments when silence replaces communication, and that silence may feel unfamiliar at first. You might be used to a certain rhythm, a certain pattern of interaction that is no longer there. But I want you to understand that silence is not emptiness, it is space. And in that space, something new begins to form. Something that does not carry confusion or emotional weight. What feels quiet now is actually making room for something that will feel right later. You are also beginning to understand your own patterns more clearly. You are seeing where you gave too much, where you stayed too long, and where you ignored what you felt because you wanted things to work. This is not something to feel regret about, it is something to learn from. Every moment of awareness you gain now prevents you from repeating the same experience in the future. You are not looking back to criticize yourself. You are looking back to understand yourself. The person with the initial R played a role in your life, but that role is changing now. They are no longer someone who holds influence over your emotions in the same way. You are taking that influence back, step by step, by choosing where your attention goes and where your energy stays. This is how you regain control, not by forcing anything, but by redirecting your focus. What you give your attention to grows, and you are learning to choose wisely. There is also a quiet strength building in the way you carry yourself now. You are becoming more steady, more grounded, and less affected by things that once would have unsettled you. This strength does not come from blocking your emotions, it comes from understanding them. When you understand what you feel, you are no longer overwhelmed by it. You can experience emotions without losing your balance, and that is what keeps you moving forward. You may begin to notice that your energy is attracting different kinds of people now. As you become more aligned with your own peace, you will naturally draw in connections that reflect that. These will not feel confusing or unstable, they will feel calm and clear. This is not something you have to chase, it will happen as a result of the choices you are making now. When you choose yourself, everything around you begins to shift. The person with the initial R may remain a part of your story, but they are no longer the direction your story is going. That distinction is important, because it allows you to move forward without feeling like you are erasing the past. You are not erasing anything. You are evolving beyond it. What you experienced still holds meaning, but it does not hold your future. Your future is shaped by what you choose now. There will be a moment, sooner than you expect, where you realize that this situation no longer holds the same weight in your mind. It will feel lighter, more distant, and less consuming. That is when you will know that you have truly moved forward. Not because everything was resolved in words, but because everything settled within you. That kind of peace does not come from external closure, it comes from internal understanding. The person whose name begins with R is no longer holding the same place inside you, even if traces of their presence remain. You are stepping into a space where your peace is becoming more important than any connection that disturbs it. Type 222 if you trust God. Could the CIA really be hiding a 7-second ritual that turns money struggles into fortune? A covert CIA finding exposes a strange 7-second ritual that activates money-attracting brainwaves on autopilot. Supported by science and 4 elite labs, this home ritual is turning struggling people into dream lifestyle owners. But this page may disappear soon. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted from the internet forever. There is a quiet realization forming inside you, and it is the understanding that not every ending needs a dramatic explanation. Sometimes, things fade because they are no longer meant to continue, and that is enough. You do not need to force closure through words or actions when your spirit has already understood the truth. What you feel now is not confusion, it is acceptance slowly taking its place. And acceptance does not mean you did not care. It means you are choosing to move forward with clarity instead of holding on to uncertainty. The person with the initial R may still exist in your world in small ways, through memories, thoughts, or occasional contact. But notice how your response to them is changing. You are no longer reacting with the same intensity, and you are no longer allowing their presence to shape your emotional state. This is not distance created by force, it is distance created by understanding. When you see something clearly, you no longer feel the need to stay as close to it as before. Type 1111 to affirm. There is also something deeper happening within you, and it is the rebuilding of your inner balance. For a while, your emotions may have felt pulled in different directions, trying to make sense of what you experienced. But now, that pull is settling, and you are returning to a sense of calm that feels natural. This is the state you were always meant to live in, not one of constant questioning or emotional strain. Your peace is not something new, it is something you are remembering again. You are also beginning to trust yourself more, and that trust is one of the most important things you can gain from this situation. You are seeing that your instincts were not wrong, that your feelings were pointing you towards something real. This builds confidence, not in others, but in yourself. When you trust yourself, you do not need constant reassurance from anyone else. You move through life with a quiet certainty that guides your choices. The person with the initial R may not fully understand the shift that has taken place within you, and that is something you must allow. Not everyone is meant to see your growth or to understand your decisions. You are not required to explain your clarity to someone who is not ready to receive it. Your responsibility is to stay aligned with what you know is right, even if it is not understood by others. Growth often happens quietly, and it does not need validation to be real. There may still be moments where you reflect on what this connection once meant to you. You may remember the good parts, the times when things felt easy or meaningful. Those memories are not something you need to reject. They are part of your experience. But they are not a reason to return to something that no longer feels right. You can honor what was without allowing it to define what comes next. You are stepping into a new way of moving through your life, one that is guided by awareness instead of habit. You are no longer repeating patterns without understanding them. You are choosing your actions with intention, and that intention is what creates change. This is how you break cycles, not by force, but by understanding what needs to be different. And you are doing that now, even if it feels subtle. There is also a sense of freedom that is beginning to grow within you. It may not be loud or overwhelming, but it is there, in the way you think, in the way you feel, and in the way you respond. Freedom does not always come as a sudden release. Sometimes it comes as a quiet shift where things simply stop affecting you the same way. That is what is happening now, and it will continue to grow as you stay aligned with your clarity. The person with the initial R is no longer the focus of your path, and that is a sign that you are moving forward. Your attention is returning to yourself, to your growth, and to what truly matters in your life. This shift will open doors that were not visible before, because your energy is no longer tied to something that was holding you back. You are creating space for new experiences that match who you are becoming. The person whose name begins with R no longer carries the same weight in your heart, even if their presence has not completely disappeared from your thoughts. You are no longer standing in uncertainty. You are standing in clarity that is becoming more stable with each passing moment. Type 777 to receive blessings. There is a deeper layer of peace beginning to form inside you, and it is not dependent on what this person does or does not do anymore. This is important because it means your balance is no longer tied to their behavior. In the past, their actions may have influenced your mood, your thoughts, and even your decisions. But now, you are reclaiming that control. And you are realizing that your state of mind belongs to you. This is not something small. It is a powerful shift that will stay with you far beyond this situation. You are also beginning to see how much energy you once gave without even noticing. It was not just in conversations or interactions. It was in the way you thought about them, the way you tried to understand them, and the way you adjusted yourself to keep things steady. That kind of energy slowly drains you when it is not balanced. Now that you are stepping back, you are starting to feel what it is like to have that energy return to you. It feels lighter, calmer, and more focused. Type yes to affirm. Could a hidden CIA discovery explain why so many are suddenly living in luxury? Secret CIA research has now come to light, revealing a brain-hacking ritual that draws in wealth like magic. It only takes 7 seconds, you can do it at home, and it's supported by 4 neuroscience labs. People are ditching debt and living in luxury right now, but this information won't stay online for long. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted. There is something else that is becoming clear, and it is the difference between attachment and alignment. You may have felt attached to this person because of shared experiences or emotional connection, but attachment alone does not mean something is right for you. Alignment is what determines whether something belongs in your life, and alignment is what you are now beginning to understand. When something is aligned, it does not create confusion or constant doubt. It feels steady, natural, and supportive of your growth. The person with the initial R did not fully align with the direction your life is moving toward. That does not make them a bad person, but it does mean that their place in your life has limits. You are now recognizing those limits without needing to force anything. This is what growth looks like, not cutting things off out of anger, but allowing them to take the space they naturally belong in. When you understand this, you no longer feel the need to hold on tightly to something that is meant to loosen. There is also a sense of closure forming within you, even if no final conversation has taken place. This kind of closure does not depend on what is said between two people. It comes from your own understanding, from the way you have processed everything and reached a point of acceptance. You are no longer waiting for the perfect explanation or the perfect moment to feel settled. You are creating that sense of completion within yourself. You may notice that your thoughts about the future are beginning to change as well. Where there was once hesitation or uncertainty, there is now a growing sense of possibility. You are starting to imagine a path that does not include the confusion you once felt. This is not something you are forcing. It is something that is naturally emerging as your clarity grows. When your mind is no longer occupied with what does not serve you, it becomes open to what does. The person with the initial R is becoming part of your past, even if that transition is still ongoing. This does not erase what you experienced, but it changes how it affects you. You are no longer carrying it in the same way, and that is what matters. What once felt heavy is becoming lighter, and what once felt complicated is becoming simple. You are understanding that not everything needs to be solved to be released. There is a quiet confidence growing in the way you move now. You are not second-guessing yourself as much, and you are not looking for constant reassurance from outside sources. This confidence comes from the clarity you have gained, and it will continue to strengthen as you move forward. When you trust yourself, your decisions become more grounded, and your path becomes clearer. You are also learning to value your peace in a deeper way. It is no longer something you are willing to trade for temporary comfort or familiar connections. You are seeing that peace is the foundation of everything you are building in your life. Without it, nothing else feels right, and with it, everything becomes easier to navigate. This understanding will guide you in every choice you make from here on. Stay steady in this place, even when small reminders of the past appear. Those reminders are part of the process, but they do not have the power they once had. You are not the same person who first entered this situation, and that is why it no longer affects you in the same way. You are moving forward with awareness, with strength, and with a sense of direction that is becoming clearer each day. There is a calmness in you now that was not there before, a quiet sense that you are no longer in the same place you once were. You are not reacting the same way, you are not overthinking the same way, and you are not holding on to the same uncertainties. This calmness is a sign that your spirit has accepted what your mind was still trying to process. When acceptance comes, it does not always announce itself loudly. It simply settles in. And suddenly things feel lighter without you fully realizing when the shift happened. The person with the initial R has become a reflection rather than a focus. You no longer look at them to find answers. You look at what the experience taught you about yourself. You see how you gave, how you trusted, and how you learned where your limits need to be. This reflection is valuable because it turns what once felt confusing into something meaningful. You are not carrying the situation as a burden anymore. You are carrying it as understanding. Type 1212 if you trust in Jesus. There is also a growing sense of independence within you, not just in your actions, but in your thoughts and emotions. You are no longer relying on someone else to create a sense of stability in your life. You are creating that stability from within, and that changes everything. When your foundation is internal, it cannot be easily shaken by external changes. This is the kind of strength that allows you to move forward without fear of losing yourself again. You may notice that the idea of reconnecting with this person no longer feels as strong as it once did. Where there was once a pull, there is now a pause, and that pause is filled with awareness. You are no longer driven by the need to fix or to understand everything. You are at peace with the idea that not every connection is meant to be continued. This peace is not forced, it is natural, and it is a sign that you have truly moved forward. The person with the initial R may still exist in your life in some small way, but they no longer define your direction. You are no longer adjusting your path based on their presence or absence. Instead, you are moving in a direction that feels right for you, regardless of what they do. This is what it means to take your power back. You are no longer influenced in the same way, and that gives you freedom. Why are so many claiming this CIA ritual changed their life in just 7 seconds? This leaked CIA ritual is the real deal, and it's potent. A 7-second brainwave hack, backed by 4 neuroscience labs, is helping regular people leap from broke to abundant. Dream homes, cars, trips, it's all within reach. But this video could disappear anytime from the internet. So click the link in the description and comments now to see it before it's gone forever. There is also something new beginning to take shape in your life, even if it is still subtle. It may come in the form of new ideas, new connections, or even a new sense of purpose that feels different from before. This is what happens when you release what no longer aligns. Space is created, and in that space, something new begins to grow. You do not have to force this growth. It will happen naturally as you continue to stay aligned with yourself. You are also learning to trust your own timing instead of feeling pressured to match someone else's pace. This is important because it allows you to move in a way that feels right for you, not rushed or delayed by outside influence. When you trust your timing, you make decisions with clarity instead of urgency. That clarity leads to better outcomes because it is grounded in understanding rather than reaction. The person with the initial R is no longer a question in your life, and that is something you should recognize. You are not wondering what to do or how to feel anymore. You are simply moving forward with the understanding that this part of your journey has already served its purpose. You are not holding on to it, and you are not trying to recreate it. You are allowing it to be what it was, and that is enough. There is a sense of quiet confidence that is becoming part of who you are now. You are not seeking approval for your choices, and you are not doubting your decisions the way you once did. This confidence is not loud or forceful, it is steady and calm. It shows in the way you carry yourself, in the way you think, and in the way you respond to situations. This is the result of choosing clarity over confusion again and again. Stay with this version of yourself, because this is who you are becoming. You are someone who listens, who understands, and who chooses what is right even when it is not easy. You are no longer repeating the same patterns, and you are no longer ignoring what you feel. You are moving forward with awareness, and that awareness is guiding you toward a life that feels more aligned with your true self. The person with the initial R is no longer holding space in your mind the way they once did.